As human beings, we are wired negatively by nature. We wake up on the wrong side of the bed. We wake up not wanting to do the things that we know we need to do. We wake up with just a negative attitude. But it's our responsibility as human beings to cultivate a high frequency mindset first thing in the morning. We have to get up and self-reflect so we can know what we don't want to do any longer. We have to get up and say these affirmations. Even if you're saying them to yourself, you have to get up and program your mind. You have to get up and set your intentions for the day. Mishaps or mistakes are going to happen during your day. But the objective is to always maintain that high frequency mindset. And when you get up in the morning, the first thing you're supposed to do is get the small wins. The small wins may be getting out of bed at this time and not missing. It might be reading this book to get your mental right. It might be not touching my phone and seeing social media for the first 2 hours of my morning. It might mean getting out of my fucking house, going for a walk, going for a run, going to the gym so I can get into flow state. That way I'm not worrying about myself or the world. You have to get the daily small wins to build that confidence for the day. That way you are in a high frequency mindset at different times of the day, because it's not going to last. It's up to you to get off your ass and put yourself back into that state. It's up to you to find motivation internally that's going to keep that fire fueled up. You have to dig deep, because what's going to happen is, if you, like I said, if you wake up, you get those small wins, you build that confidence for the day, right? You're hitting the gym, you get into flow state, and then you do something to interrupt that flow state by worrying about things that you're not supposed to be worrying about. It's going to take your frequency back down. Okay? And then let's say you're doing something you're not supposed to do. Now shame and guilt are going to start creeping back into your mind. And that's going to mess up the frequency that you need to be on so you can do great things with your day. Remember, you're not going to do great things in a day, but you can do those small things great. Wake up at your time you're supposed to wake up. Read that book you're supposed to read. Go for that walk you're supposed to go for. Set your intentions for the day. Hit the gym, or even do body weight workouts. Whatever it is that can get you into a high frequency mind state. It's all about not worrying about the things that the material world is going to want you to worry about. That could be your bills. It could be other people's problems. It could be those low negative thoughts that you once had in your mind that seeps back in. That causes shame and guilt. All those low vibrational things. But you have to be aware of yourself. You have to be aware at certain times of the day how you feel. You have to be aware at certain times of the year how you feel. Because we don't do things just to do it. We do things because of patterns. But we have to interrupt those patterns and cultivate our own patterns. Create our own patterns for our life. But it first starts with being self-aware. Okay? It's important because we have to stay in a high frequency mind state. We have to stay with acceptance. We have to accept our circumstances. We have to accept our responsibility for the role that we play in our lives situation right now. We have to be willing to learn. Okay? We have to have a cause, something we are fighting for, a purpose that we're walking in. We have to be enlightened. That way we can self-actualize ourselves. That way we can recognize our potential that we have. That way we can actually walk in our potential. And then we can start to help other people walk into their potential. But we cannot do that in a low frequency mind state. We cannot do that in a low frequency vibration. Because you're going to be in shame and fear and guilt. And all of those things are not helping fucking people. All of those things are selfish motives. All of those things are selfish vibrations or feelings. You're worrying about yourself in those moments. It's not about you. Everybody done been through fucked up shit. Everybody done did something in their life that they're ashamed about that they had to change. If you're ashamed about something, fucking change it. You have the power to change your life. You have the power to make a decision if you are going to be in a high frequency mind state or you're going to be in a low frequency. Period. It's no in between. Either you're high frequency or you're low frequency. You're either catering to your higher being or your lower being. What we're supposed to do is we're supposed to have a lower nature, but we are supposed to control that lower nature. And we're supposed to develop our higher nature because we have a brain and a mind that's connected to your higher power. We are actually expressions of a higher power. Once you understand that, then you're going to understand that you have a source that's guiding you with that internal voice that you keep hearing in your head. But first, it's up to you to recognize that you need to make the changes. It's up to you to recognize that you need to get your ass out of a low vibration into your higher vibration. And you can do that by going for a pump, going for a walk, doing something that's challenging to yourself to help you build that confidence, that internal confidence. You can get confidence from the externals. But think about this, just because you have money, that's not going to change you internally. In fact, it's just going to expose who you are. It's going to magnify who you've been. Come on, you don't want to be a negative motherfucker hopping out of a supercar. A supercar. You don't, because nobody's going to give a fuck. Yeah, you have this car, but you're a shitty person. Yeah, you have this amount of success, but you're a shitty person. You don't help anybody. You're not thinking about yourself. So once you're in a low vibration, you need to understand you have to get yourself out of that lower vibration. That way you can rise to the fucking occasion. Make sure the program that you are on is a program that allows you to self-reflect and understand your weaknesses. That way you can build off of your fucking weaknesses and you'll be more inclined to know more about yourself. You will be more inclined to know what times of the year you act certain ways, what times of the day you act certain ways, and how can you avoid that? How can you prevent that? And you can do that by getting yourself into an activity that's going to help raise your vibration. For me, it's hitting the gym. For me, it's listening to something that can activate my mind. To me, it's listening to people at a higher level than me that's holding me accountable, even if it's through screen. That's letting me know that I can do more because I can become more. And that's what it's about. You guys have to leave that lower nature behind. Remember, you're supposed to have it, but you're supposed to control it. Your life is not supposed to be 80% lower nature activity and 20% higher nature activity. No, it's supposed to be 80% higher nature, 20% lower nature. You're supposed to control your lower nature. You're supposed to control your anger. You're supposed to control doing harm to people. You're supposed to control your emotions. You're supposed to control your pain. Don't let those things control you, because if it controls you, you'll end up in a situation you'll regret. Remember, guys, I believe that mindset training, personal development, fitness, and nutrition are the three main pillars to living a better life. Let's get it!